Excuse me? Excuse me? Are you seriously telling me I can't bring this bag?
Miss, the weight limit is 50 pounds. Your luggage is at 73.
Do you have any idea how much this bag costs? More than you make in a month, probably.
I understand, but the policy applies to everyone. You can either remove some items or pay the excess baggage.
Oh my god, are you kidding me right now? Do you know who my father is?
I'm sure your father is a wonderful man, but
Wonderful! He's Derek Sterling. Sterling Tech? Maybe you've heard of it? No. Wait, you probably haven't because you're just a baggage handler.
I'm an airport service representative, and I'm happy to help you resolve this.
Happy to help? You're literally the opposite of helpful right now. This is designer luggage with designer clothes for my Paris trip. I'm not removing anything.
Then the fee would be $150.
Are you actually serious? You want me to pay a fee? Do you understand how ridiculous that is?
It's the same fee every passenger pays when...
Every passenger? I'm not every passenger. God, how do you even have this job? You're like, what, 60? And you're still checking bags?
I'm 53, and I enjoy my work.
Enjoy your work? That's so sad. That's genuinely the saddest thing I've heard all week.
Olivia, just pay the fee. We're going to miss our flight.
No, Dad, this is the principle of it. Trying to scam us.
I assure you, miss, this is standard.
Oh, now it's standard? I'm getting this all on video. Yeah, that's right. Say hi to the internet airport guy. My followers are going to love this.
You're certainly welcome to film, but it won't change the policy.
You know what? I feel sorry for you. I genuinely do. Imagine waking up every single day knowing this is your life, checking other people's bags because you never did anything important with yours.
We all serve in different ways.
Serve? You're not serving anyone. You're just taking up space in that sad little uniform, following sad little rules for your sad little paycheck.
The terminal was loud that Tuesday morning. Travelers rushed past Gate 47 with their rolling suitcases and coffee cups, oblivious to the scene unfolding at the baggage check counter. Most people barely glanced at the girl in the white designer tracksuit. Her phone held high as she recorded the man behind the counter, with the kind of contempt usually reserved for something you'd scrape off your shoe. But a few people stopped. A businessman in a gray suit paused mid-stride. A mother with 2 young children shifted her bags and watched. An elderly woman shook her head slowly, her mouth pressed into a thin line of disapproval. They all saw the same thing. A girl who had never been told no. A girl who believed the world existed to bend to her will. A girl who was about to learn the kind of lesson that money couldn't buy. Olivia Sterling didn't notice the stares. She was too focused on her performance, on capturing every second of what she believed was her righteous vindication. Her blonde hair fell in perfect waves over her shoulders. Her nails, freshly done in Parisian pink, tapped against her phone case as she adjusted the angle. She had 523,000 followers on Instagram, brand deals with 3 luxury companies. A verification checkmark that felt like a crown. She'd built an empire on being aspirational, on showing people the life they'd never have. And part of that empire was never, ever letting anyone disrespect her. The man behind the counter, Robert, maintained his composure with the kind of patience that comes from years of practice. His uniform was pressed. His name tag was straight. His eyes held something that Olivia couldn't recognize because she'd never learned to look for it. Wisdom earned through experience, not purchased with a credit card. He'd been doing this for 3 months now, going undercover in his own airports, working shifts alongside employees he'd never met, seeing firsthand how travelers treated the people who made their journeys possible. He'd been yelled at 17 times, insulted 43 times, threatened with lawsuits 11 times. But this girl was different. This girl had a cruelty that felt almost pure in its thoughtlessness. She wasn't angry about a real problem. She was angry because someone had dared to apply a rule to her. The security officer approached, his hand resting on his radio.
Miss, I'm going to need you to lower your voice.
Are you kidding me? He's the problem, not me!
Her father, Derek Sterling, stepped forward. He was a man who'd built a tech empire through aggressive negotiation and ruthless efficiency. A man who solved problems with contracts and capital. A man who'd given his daughter everything except the one thing she needed most. Boundaries.
Olivia, this is getting out of hand. Just pay the fee.
I'm not paying anything. This is discrimination.
Robert remained still behind the counter, his hands folded. He'd seen this play out before, the escalation, the performance, the inevitable collapse when reality refused to conform to expectation. The gate agent, a young woman named Shaylee, whispered something to Robert. He nodded once, barely perceptible. The flight was boarding. Other passengers needed to check bags. This couldn't continue.
Miss Sterling, I'm going to offer you a choice. You can pay the excess baggage fee and make your flight, or you can continue this discussion and miss your flight. But I can't hold up the line any longer.
Olivia's face flushed red. Her phone was still recording. She was trapped between her pride and her Paris trip. And pride was winning.
You know what? Fine. I'll pay your stupid fee, but I'm posting this video, and when my followers see how you treated me, you're going to wish you'd just done your job properly.
Robert processed the payment without comment. He attached the baggage tag with steady hands. He printed her boarding pass and slid it across the counter.
Gate 47 is now boarding Group 2. You should hurry.
Olivia snatched the boarding pass and turned away, her phone still recording, her voice still narrating her tale of victimhood to an audience that hadn't yet seen the video. Her father followed, his jaw tight with an emotion that might have been embarrassment if he'd allowed himself to feel it. The businessman in the grey suit caught Robert's eye and shook his head. A gesture of solidarity from one professional to another. The mother with the children pulled her youngest closer, whispering something about being kind to people. The elderly woman approached the counter.
You handled that with grace.
Thank you, ma'am.
That girl has no idea what real struggle looks like.
Robert smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. He knew something that the elderly woman didn't, something that would make this whole encounter infinitely more complicated. He knew exactly who Derek Sterling was. They'd met 4 times over the past 6 months. They'd discussed a potential partnership, a merger that would bring Sterling Tech's software innovations into Castellano International's airport infrastructure. A deal worth $470 million. A deal that was supposed to be finalized next week. Robert had been looking forward to working with Derek. The man was brilliant, driven, innovative. But he was also a father who'd raised a daughter who believed service workers were beneath her notice. And that told Robert something about Derek's values that no business proposal could hide. The thing about going undercover, Robert had learned, was that you saw people's true character. Not the version they presented in boardrooms or cocktail parties, but the version they showed to people they believed didn't matter. And Olivia had just shown him exactly who she was. 37,000 feet above Kansas, Olivia was editing her video. She'd trimmed it down to the juiciest moments, the parts where Robert's calm demeanor could be framed as condescension, where her anger could be positioned as justified outrage. She'd added text overlays, crying emojis, a caption that read, "When airport workers forget who pays their salary." She posted it at 2:47 p.m., just as the plane began its descent into New York for their layover. By 3:15 p.m., it had 12,000 views. By 4:30 p.m., it had 89,000 views, and the comments were rolling in. But they weren't the comments she expected. "Girl, you're the problem here. Imagine being this entitled." That poor man was just doing his job. "This is why people hate influencers. Your privilege is showing, and it's ugly." Olivia's hands trembled as she scrolled. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Her followers were supposed to support her, to rage alongside her, to validate her victimhood. Instead, they were turning on her with the same viciousness she'd shown to Robert. The video kept spreading, It jumped platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. News outlets picked it up. Influencer's airport meltdown goes viral for all the wrong reasons. Spoiled teen berates airport worker in shocking video. Is this the worst influencer behavior of 2024? By the time they landed in Paris, Olivia had lost 47,000 followers. 3 brand deals had been cancelled via email. Her mentions were a wasteland of criticism and mockery. The video that was supposed to prove her point had instead proven everyone else's. Derek watched his daughter spiral in the hotel suite, her face illuminated by the blue glow of her phone screen, and felt something unfamiliar stir in his chest. It might have been shame. It might have been regret. It might have been the dawning realization that he'd failed her by never letting her fail. His own phone buzzed, a message from his assistant. Robert Castellano's office called. He wants to reschedule next week's meeting. No explanation given. Derek stared at the message. Robert Castellano. The name tickled something in his memory, something recent, something... His blood went cold. He opened his laptop and searched Robert Castellano. The results loaded instantly. CEO and founder of Castellano International. Net worth estimated at $4.2 billion. Owner of the second-largest private airport chain in North America. Known for his hands-on management style and his practice of working undercover in his own facilities to ensure quality service. Derek's hands shook as he pulled up his daughter's viral video and watched it again. Really watched it this time. The man behind the counter. The patient demeanor. The measured responses. The name tag that read simply, Robert. Oh God. Oh God, no. His daughter hadn't just berated a random airport worker. She'd humiliated a billionaire. The same billionaire who was supposed to invest nearly $500 million into Sterling Tech. The same billionaire whose partnership Derek had spent 6 months cultivating. The same billionaire who now knew exactly what kind of family the Sterlings were. Derek stood up so fast his chair tipped backward. Olivia looked up from her phone, her eyes red from crying over lost followers and cancelled contracts.
What?
We need to talk.
I don't want to talk. Everyone hates me. My whole life is ruined because of that stupid airport guy.
That stupid airport guy is Robert Castellano.
Olivia blinked. The name meant nothing to her.
So he owns the airport. He owns 43 airports. He's a billionaire, Olivia. And he was undercover.
The color drained from Olivia's face. Her phone slipped from her hand onto the plush hotel carpet. For the first time in her life, she understood that there were consequences her father's money couldn't fix.
Oh? No.
Yes.
No. But he was wearing a uniform. He was behind the counter. He was
Testing his employees. Seeing how passengers treat his staff. It's something he does regularly. It's been written about in Forbes, in Business Week. How did you not know this?
Because Olivia had never needed to know. She'd never needed to think about who owned what or who held power beyond her immediate circle. The world had always arranged itself for her convenience, and she'd assumed it always would.
What does this mean?
Derek sat down on the edge of the bed, his head in his hands. He was a man who'd built an empire through calculated risks and strategic planning. But this wasn't something he could strategize his way out of. This was simple, brutal, final.
It means our deal is probably dead. It means $470 million in investment is gone. It means Sterling Tech's expansion into airport infrastructure is finished before it started.
Because of a baggage fee?
Derek looked at his daughter. Really looked at her, and saw for the first time how completely he'd failed as a father. She still didn't understand. Even now, facing the consequences of her actions, she was reducing it to a transaction rather than recognizing it as a moral failure.
Because you treated a human being like garbage. Because you filmed yourself doing it. Because you showed the world exactly who you are. And Robert Castellano was watching.
The Paris trip was a disaster. They didn't visit the Louvre. They didn't walk along the Seine. They stayed in the hotel while Derek made phone call after phone call, trying to reach Robert's office, trying to salvage something from the wreckage. But every call went to voicemail, every email went unanswered. Robert Castellano had seen what he needed to see. The conversation was over. They flew back to Los Angeles 4 days early. The house in Beverly Hills felt different when they walked through the door, smaller somehow despite its 7,000 square feet. Olivia went straight to her room. Derek poured himself a drink he didn't want and stared out at the infinity pool. His phone rang, Robert's office, finally.
Mr. Sterling, this is Catherine from Mr. Castellano's office. He's asked me to inform you that he's withdrawing from the partnership discussions.
Catherine, please. If I could just speak with Robert directly.
Mr. Castellano has also requested that your daughter issue a formal apology. Not to him, but to the airport staff she may have offended. If she's willing to do so in person, he'll meet with her.
Derek's mind raced. An apology, a chance, a sliver of possibility.
When?
Tomorrow, 2 p.m. LAX Terminal 4. The same counter where the incident occurred.
We'll be there.
Mr. Sterling, one more thing. This isn't about the business deal. That's finished. This is about whether your daughter can learn from her mistakes. Mr. Castellano believes in second chances, but only for people who've earned them.
The line went dead. Derek climbed the stairs to Olivia's room. She was lying on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her phone face down beside her. She'd lost 93,000 followers now. The internet had moved on to its next outrage. But the damage was done. Her reputation was shattered. Her influencer career was over.
Olivia.
I don't want to talk about it.
Robert Castellano's office called. He wants you to apologize. In person. Tomorrow.
Olivia sat up, her face a mixture of hope and dread.
Will that fix the deal?
No. The deal is dead. This is about something more important than money.
What's more important than $400 million?
Derek looked at his daughter and realized he didn't know when she'd become this person. Or maybe he did know. Maybe he'd watched it happen and chosen not to intervene because intervening required something he'd never been good at. Being present, being firm, being a father instead of a checkbook.
Your character. Olivia. This is about your character.
They drove to LAX in silence the next day. Derek had offered to hire a publicist, to craft a statement, to manage the optics. But Catherine had been clear. This had to be genuine, unscripted, from the heart. If Olivia tried to perform her apology the way she performed everything else in her life, Robert would see through it instantly. The terminal was busy. Travelers rushed past with their carry-ons and their boarding passes, living their lives, unaware that they were about to witness something that might actually matter. Olivia walked toward counter 47 on shaking legs. The same counter where she'd filmed her video, where she'd sneered and preened and shown the world her ugliest self. Robert wasn't there. Instead, a young woman stood behind the counter, Shaylee, the gate agent who'd whispered to Robert during the original incident.
Lano is waiting for
Yes!
conference room C. I'll take you there.
They walked through the terminal, past the gates and the shops and the restaurants, into the administrative section where passengers rarely went. Shaylee stopped at a door marked C and knocked twice.
Come in.
Robert sat at a simple conference table, still wearing his airport uniform. He stood when Olivia entered, and she saw him clearly for the first time. Not as an obstacle to be overcome, but as a man who'd earned his wisdom through experience she couldn't imagine.
Miss Sterling, thank you for coming.
Olivia opened her mouth, and the apology she'd rehearsed in the car died on her tongue. The words felt hollow, performative, exactly what Catherine had warned against. So instead, she said the only true thing she could think of.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was cruel to you, and I had no right to be. You were just doing your job, and I treated you like you didn't matter. But you do matter. Everyone matters. I know that sounds obvious, but I didn't really know it before. I do now.
Robert studied her for a long moment. Then he gestured to a chair.
Sit down, Olivia.
She sat. Her father remained standing by the door.
Do you know why I work these shifts?
To check on your employee?
Partly, but mostly to remind myself where I started. I was a baggage handler 40 years ago. Minimum wage, night shifts, no prospects. People treated me the way you treated me last week. Like I was invisible. Like I was disposable.
Olivia felt tears prick her eyes, but she didn't look away.
I built this company because I wanted to create a place where every employee was treated with dignity, where the person checking bags was valued as much as the person flying first class. And when I go undercover, I'm testing that culture. I'm seeing if we're living up to our values.
And we failed that test. I failed that test.
You did. But failure is only permanent if you don't learn from it.
Robert opened a folder on the table and slid a document across to Olivia.
This is an employment contract. Part-time position, customer service representative, $10 an hour. If you accept it, you'll work here 3 days a week for the next 6 months. You'll check bags, handle complaints, deal with difficult passengers. You'll learn what it means to serve people who don't think you matter.
Olivia stared at the contract. $10 an hour. She spent more than that on a single coffee at her favorite cafe.
And if I say no?
Then you go home, and nothing changes. You'll still be the girl from the video. You'll still be someone who learned nothing from humiliating another person.
And if I say yes?
Then maybe you become someone different. Someone better. Someone who understands that privilege is a responsibility, not a right.
Derek stepped forward.
Robert, what about the partnership?
Robert turned to Derek with an expression that held no anger, only disappointment.
That's finished, Derek. I can't do business with someone who raised a daughter to treat service workers with contempt. It speaks to values that don't align with mine.
But if Olivia does this...
If Olivia does this, she does it for herself. Not for your company, not for your bank account. For herself.
Olivia picked up the pen on the table. Her hand hovered over the signature line. 6 months, 3 days a week. Dealing with people like her former self. It would be humiliating. It would be exhausting. It would be nothing like the life she'd planned. But that life was gone anyway. The followers were gone. The brand deals were gone. The video had shown everyone who she really was, and that person wasn't someone worth following. Maybe this was a chance to become someone worth being. She signed. 3 months later, Olivia stood behind counter 47 in her pressed uniform, her hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, her nails cut short because long nails made it hard to type. A woman in an expensive coat was yelling at her about a flight delay that wasn't Olivia's fault, wasn't anyone's fault, was just one of those things that happened when you traveled. The old Olivia would have seen herself in this woman. Would have recognized the entitlement, the assumption that volume equals validity, the belief that money should insulate you from inconvenience. But the new Olivia, the one who'd spent 90 days being yelled at, talked down to, treated like furniture, saw something different. She saw fear. Fear of missing an important meeting, fear of disappointing someone, fear of not being in control.
Ma'am, I understand you're frustrated. Let me see what I can do to help.
She typed quickly, checking alternate routes, standby lists, partner airlines. She found a solution, not perfect, but workable. The woman's shoulders dropped. Her voice softened.
Thank you. I'm sorry I raised my voice.
It's okay. Travel is stressful. I hope the rest of your day improves.
The woman walked away, and Olivia felt something she'd never felt before. Useful. Not admired, not envied, not followed. Just useful. Just helpful. Just human. Robert appeared at the counter, still in his uniform. He worked alongside his employees every Tuesday, a practice he'd never stopped, despite the demands of running a multi-billion-dollar company.
How are you holding up?
I'm good. Really good, actually.
I saw how you handled Mrs. Chen. That was well done.
She reminded me of someone.
Who?
Me. 3 months ago.
Robert smiled, a real smile this time, one that reached his eyes.
Your contract is up in 3 months. Have you thought about what comes next?
Olivia had thought about it. A lot. Her father wanted her to come work at Sterling Tech in marketing. Her mother thought she should go to college. Her former friends kept texting her about starting a new social media account, rebuilding her following, capitalizing on her redemption arc. But none of those options felt right. Because she'd learned something working at Counter 47 that no college course or corporate job could teach her. She'd learned that the most important work wasn't the most glamorous work. That dignity came from how you treated people, not from how many people followed you. That character was built in small moments of choosing kindness when cruelty would be easier.
I was thinking I might stay. Maybe move to full-time. Work my way up.
Robert raised an eyebrow.
In airport management?
Why not? Someone has to make sure passengers treat employees with respect. Might as well be someone who knows what it's like to be on both sides.
Your father won't be happy about it.
My father will survive. This isn't about him.
Robert extended his hand, and Olivia shook it. Not as the spoiled daughter of a tech mogul. Not as a disgraced influencer. But as a colleague. An equal. A person who'd earned her place through work instead of inheriting it through luck. Later that evening, Derek Sterling sat in his office at Sterling Tech, staring at a partnership proposal from a different firm. It was a good deal. Not as good as the Castellano deal would have been, but solid. Workable. His company would be fine. But he'd lost something more valuable than $400 million. He'd lost the chance to partner with a man he respected. And he'd nearly lost his daughter to the monster he'd created by never teaching her that money couldn't buy character. His phone buzzed, a text from Olivia. Worked a double shift today, feet hurt, never been happier. Derek smiled and typed back, "Proud of you, kiddo." And he was. For the first time in years, he was genuinely proud of his daughter. Not for what she had, but for who she was becoming. At LAX, the lights dimmed as the last flights departed. Robert Castellano walked through Terminal 4, checking on his employees, making sure everyone was okay after a long day. He stopped at Counter 47, where a young woman was wiping down the workspace, preparing for the next shift.
Heading home, Olivia?
Just finishing up. You?
Same. Walk to the parking lot together?
They walked side by side through the empty terminal, a billionaire and a customer service representative, both wearing the same uniform, both committed to the same values.
Robert,
Yes?
thank you for giving me this chance.
You earned it. Every day you earn it.
Outside, the Los Angeles sky was dark and starless, washed out by city lights. But somewhere above the clouds, planes were flying, carrying people toward their destinations, their lives, their futures. And down below, in the terminals and at the gates and behind the counters, workers like Robert and Olivia were making those journeys possible. Not because they had to, but because they chose to. Because service, real service, was never about power or status or wealth. It was about showing up, treating people with dignity, learning that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. And sometimes, if you were very lucky, it was about getting a second chance to become the person you were always meant to be. Olivia got into her car, a modest sedan she'd bought with her own money, nothing like the luxury SUV her father had given her for her 16th birthday, and drove home to the small apartment she'd rented in Culver City. No infinity pool, no 7,000 square feet, no walk-in closet full of designer clothes she'd never wear again. But she slept better than she had in years, because for the first time in her life she'd earned what she had. She'd built something real. She'd become someone worth being. And that was worth more than all the followers in the world.